Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another Great British Hobbit League video. As always, you're here with James and
Jamie, and today we're going to be unboxing the White Council. Now, I think we're going to switch over to the close cam here, so do you want to unbox?
Yes, I'll do some of the unboxing. So we have got the White Council.
This includes 4 models. We've got Finecast versions of Saruman, we've got Galadriel, we've got Gandalf, and we've also got Elrond. So let's have a little look and see what we get inside here. Now, first of all, something that I noticed straight away was this fantastic painter's guide on the back. So we've got 4 different models, and it's suggesting 4 paints. Okay, now I do recommend that you don't only use 4 paints to paint these gorgeous and rather expensive models, that you do try and go a bit beyond that. That's my advice. There's probably about as much advice about these models that you're going to get from me as a beginner player. Okay, so we're going to open it up, and inside we've got the plastic container, which opens nicely, I think.
He says open.
See how many of these I open. That's brilliant. Okay, so inside we've got some little baggies, and each little baggie has got its own Finecast figure in. All of them are in one piece. So let's have a little bit of a look at each of the figures. So we've got Saruman here. This is new Saruman, and I don't know if you can see the detail in that.
Well, they do. There you go, focus. They do look very nice. The detail's actually quite amazing. Something I noticed straight away is that they aren't slaughter bases like the rest of them. They're just the sort of, you just glue them on and hope they stick up. I personally prefer the slotters, so you don't have to. Well, using glue is advisable, but you don't need glue sometimes if it is a tight fit. But as for the standard of models, they're pretty damn awesome. They're quite expensive to buy. I think the set's about £30, £40 maybe.
Yeah, so very expensive for 4 models.
Yeah, but it is nice to see some of these characters with different poses. I know Saruman's got about 3 before this one. Elrond only had 2. Gandalf, well, he's the star of the show. He's got millions. And Galadriel only had 2, so it is nice to see her in a different pose as well, rather than waving goodbye to everyone.
Now, the detail on these are absolutely phenomenal. They are phenomenal. What do you think in terms of the scale and the sizes? Do they look about the right kind of...
Yeah, well, they look a little bit bigger. Like the trend within models recently, they've been to be a little bit bigger, but it does allow you to get the more detail. But yeah, they'll fit in with the armies that have been released recently, but if you go back to if you put them next to a wood elf or original goblin, they will tower over them massively.
Yeah. What do they do in terms of the rules? Because I've never played in a game and come up against any of these models.
Have you not?
Never ever come up against any of these.
I'll have to introduce you to Saruman. So Saruman the White, he is sort of like the master wizard. He is great offensively and can control the game. Mikolaj, the league coordinator, rates him as the best model in the game.
Really?
He's got 18-inch range. They're all 3 might, 6 will, 3 fate. Besides Elrond, he's 3 will. These 3 characters all get a point of will for free each turn. These 2 from their staff, she's just magical. When within 6 inches of each other on the table, they all get +1 to resist magic as well. So they're quite potent at sort of dealing with enemy spellcasters like School or the Necromancer, which is where we'll probably see them in the films. But these guys are really just support characters. They're not meant to be getting stuck in and doing it. Elrond can with his 3 attacks, but they are there to just boost your army. They're not win it on their own sort of heroes.
And they do seem quite expensive, not just in terms of what you pay for the box, but also looking at the points costs in the book. So what kind of points value games do you tend to see these characters appearing?
You may see the odd 1 or 2 appearing about 500 points. 2 or more, generally 1,000 points or more. So every 500 points you might see one of these characters, because they do take up roughly 140 plus of your army.
Would you say it's worth it?
Yes. Maybe not Elrond, personally. I don't really rate him. He's got 3 will and 2 spells, Renew and Nature's Wrath. I don't think they're really worth it, even with his 3 attacks. Saruman, yes, because you can control the board. Gandalf's probably the best support character with his cast blinding light and just general magic, and a bit of offensive with Sorcerer's Blast. Galadriel, same as Gandalf, but costs less and does less. She doesn't have Sorcerer's Blast, but still has cast blinding light, Transfix, and Command. So, very nice spells for them.
Fantastic. Well, I think looking at these models overall, they are expensive for 4, but they are absolutely gorgeous models in great poses. Games Workshop have done a fantastic job with the sculpts of these.
Yes,
Now, there is also always a lot of talk on the forums about Finecast and whether it's good or whether it's not so good.
and you know there doesn't seem to be any problems with these at all.
The other thing I can notice is on Saruman here, when you're looking on the front profile, his stuff is a little bit warped, but that can be fixed with a bit of hot water, and it's nothing more than you'd find with the old metal models. You'd have to just, it's a different way. Like the old metals, you'd have the little mould marks where you'd have the odd bit sticking off the sprue. You have to clip it off. It's simple with fine cast. Instead of clipping it off, you're just going to have to warp this back into shape. So it's just different models.
So an easy thing to do.
Yes, yeah, very easy.
So I think whilst I probably won't be buying this box set anytime soon, because it is very expensive, I think that it is going to be reasonably popular amongst more experienced gamers and collectors in particular.
Yes, yeah. They're beautiful painted. We're going to get Steve to paint them up and we can show you them.
Yeah, we'll get Steve to paint them up. And he'll do them. So that's our unboxing of the White Council and just some of our opinions. Expect more unboxing soon on the Great British Hobbit League channel.
Be sure to share, subscribe and like the video.
Happy Strategy Battle Gaming, guys.